Okay, so today I'm going to be discussing Aaron Lopresti's recently released book, Wraith of God, and doing some fan art for it in the background. In case you haven't heard of it, Wraith of God is a western/horror comic about a mysterious vigilante tracking down a pack of evil werewolves and trying to stop a magic medallion from falling into their clutches. I wanted to have Wraith facing off against someone in this piece, so I decided to also include my own character, Django, who I haven't really mentioned before here, but there's more about him on my Instagram page. I like to imagine this scene is part of a scenario where Django and the Wraith are like hunting each other around some labyrinth of a canyon, and then they both turn a corner and they run into each other, and then we get this shot. And then a werewolf or something shows up and they realize the real enemy was someone else all along and they have to team up to defeat it. And you'll also notice that I kind of avoid drawing their hands until the very end because I was intimidated to draw the pistols because I'm not good at drawing inorganic mechanical things. Actually, I completely get rid of Wraith's gun because I drew the hand and couldn't figure out how to make the gun look good at the angle it would need to be, but I still really liked the hand, so I kept the hand and got rid of the gun. I think it still works for the character though. Wraith would definitely point a condemning finger at someone he's about to take down. Anyway, on to the Wraith of God book itself. I really enjoyed it overall. I was really intrigued by the mix of western and horror themes. The art is great, and I also want to shout out the colors done by Gabe El-Taib. They're really good at setting the scene and creating a mood, especially all the nighttime shots. The character design is really solid as well. Wraith is already an iconic design, I think. Other characters are more on the realistic rather than stylized side, but there's clearly a lot of thought put into their look that helps make the world feel more immersive and makes the Wraith stand out that much more. The characters were probably my favorite aspect of the whole comic. I really appreciated that they all have specific motivations and go on arcs throughout the course of the book, and Aaron proved his writing talent by being able to give each of the characters distinctive voices. Dialogue is really important for me to get invested in characters, and from there, the entire story. And I've definitely read some comics where maybe the art is incredible or the premise is intriguing, but the dialogue is bland and the characters just feel flat and like they're all the same, and from there I usually don't pick up the next issue. Here, the characters feel real and they grow and change throughout this story, but also are set up at the end of the book to go on more adventures and have more personal development. I feel like I understand all the characters and how they're distinct from each other, so I'm invested in seeing what happens to them next. Now, at the end of the speed paint here, I go back in and noodle around with Wraith a little more. He, in particular, ended up looking a little flat, but I actually sort of like that because it kind of looks like those diorama boxes. So I try to play that up with Django as well to make it feel more deliberate and make the whole piece feel more cohesive. Honestly, I think the best thing I did was add the texture overlays because that really makes the piece look professional more than anything else. When in doubt, add a texture overlay on top of everything. So that's the finished piece, and that wraps up my thoughts on Wraith of God. I definitely recommend it for anyone who likes westerns or is looking for a good action comic with some horror and pulp undertones. Check out Aaron's YouTube channel for updates on this book and the sequel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.